Very good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
So, this is our next lecture. So, we are going to start with our next chapter, that is presentation of data. Collection of data is already done, right? This is the second chapter. Now you did the work of collecting the data, right? Now we will learn how to present the data. Till now what you already had the data and you used to find mean, median, whatever is given in the question, right? But from now onwards, what we will learn in presentation of data? In presentation of data, we will learn how to present the data first, right? Okay, when you went to collect the data that was collected by you, it could be in the form, it could be either qualitative data or either quantitative data. The data that is collected by you, it can be either in the qualitative form or either in the quantitative form. Now what is qualitative, what is quantitative, we already learned. What is qualitative? Qualitative data is a data which does not have numbers in it, right? And quantitative data is a data which have numbers in it. The numerical data is called as quantitative data. Now while presenting this quantitative data, we can present this quantitative data, either we can present it in the discrete form or we can present it in the continuous form. Okay, so what is this discrete and what is this continuous form? Now when the data is limited, very less data, you can easily present it in the discrete form, because in discrete form we don't have any classes. But in continuous data, what happens is, in continuous data we have classes. So continuous data is when we have classes like 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. These are classes, right? So what is continuous data? Continuous data is a data which have classes in it, and those data which does not have classes can be termed as discrete data. Now when to use this data? Now if I say my information that I have collected is suppose ranging from 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, 0, and suppose this much numbers I have till 50 numbers I have, but all the numbers are ranging between 0 to 3 only. Okay, now when you see the numbers are ranging from 0 to 3, can you see 0 is the most minimum value that we can see, least value, right? And 3 is the maximum value. And all the data of 50 observation is ranging between 0 and 3. Data is ranging between 0 and 3. So when the data is of less range, the range of the data is very limited, what we can do is we can use the discrete form. Okay, here our x will start from 0, then 1, then 2, and the last will be 3. Okay, after that what happens is, in the discrete data we have to find number of observations, right? What is number of observations? It is frequency. Now for finding out the frequency, our next step will be finding the telemarks, and finally we will find the frequency. So 0 is repeated how many number of times? We will find the telemarks. We will start from the first initial. Okay, instead of finding 0, how many times 0 is there in the whole observation, it is better what you can do is, first number is 0, so find a telemark beside 0. The next number is 1, a telemark beside 1. Next number is 2, a telemark beside 2. Then 3. Then again we have 0, telemarks beside 0. Then we have 2, so beside 2. Then we have 1. Then we have 3 and 2 and 0. Now the rule is, whenever you make the telemarks, you have to make 4 telemarks. Till 4, if the number is repeating till 4, you can make 4 telemarks. When it is repeating the 5th time, instead of making one more telemark, what we will do is, we will cut this. Okay, so you will know, we will understand this is 5. Again, if it is repeating, again start making it till 4. You have to make the telemarks. The 5th one you will cut it. Now, what happens if we are done with the telemarks? Then what we will do? We will count it, write the frequency, and finally we will write the total frequency. Okay, this is discrete form. data, when the data is limited, we can use this discrete form. But when the data is too much, if instead of I'm saying the data was only for 50 but the range was very less, okay, and if I say the range is large, in that case discrete form will not be used. In that case we will use continuous frequency distribution. In that case we will use continuous frequency distribution and we will make the classes. Okay, we are starting with continuous frequency distribution. Now many times data can be in the form of say 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39 and so on. Similarly, data can be in the form of 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and so on. Okay, now can you see both the data, are they same? No. Can you see this is the lower limit, this is called the lower limit and this is called the upper limit. Similarly also this is the lower limit, this is the upper limit. Okay, now can you see the lower limit over here is 0 and the upper limit is 9. Can you see the next class lower limit and the upper limit is not same? Is it same? It is not same. Whenever the upper limit and the lower limit of the next class is not same, we will call this as inclusive frequency distribution. Okay, whenever the upper limit and the lower limit of the succeeding class is not same, we will call it as inclusive frequency distribution. Okay, number is not getting repeated. Whenever you make tally marks, what you have to remember is number will be included wherever it is. 9 will be included where 9 is written. 10 will be included where 10 is written. So inclusive frequency distribution is crystal clear. What you have to do, number wherever it is written, it will be included in that same class itself. Is it clear? Okay, moving towards this one. You can see the upper limit of the class and the lower limit of the succeeding class, that is the below class, is same. Yes, when the upper limit of a class and the lower limit of the next class is same, we call this as exclusive frequency distribution. Now, why it is called exclusive frequency distribution? 20 is excluded from above, included in the next class. 30 will be excluded from above, included in the third class. In the next class, 40 will be excluded from the above, included in the next class. That's why it is called exclusive frequency distribution. Now what you have to remember is whenever you solve any sum, if it is not mentioned which type of class you have to make, inclusive or exclusive, you have to make exclusive frequency distribution. Okay, because whenever you have to find mean, median, mode, quartiles, standard deviation, any type of this thing, we use exclusive frequency distribution. So whenever in the question it is not mentioned which kind of frequency distribution to be made, what we will make? Exclusive frequency distribution. But if in the question it is already mentioned that you have to make inclusive, we know how to make inclusive, right? Inclusive will be in the form where the upper limit and the lower limit of the succeeding class will not be the same, and that will be inclusive frequency distribution. Now, one of the students will tell me, ma'am, you told we will use exclusive, then why to make inclusive? Because they have told you to make inclusive. Okay, in the question it was mentioned to find inclusive. Right. So in that case, if you make inclusive frequency distribution, we can even convert this inclusive frequencies into exclusive. Okay. In case you have to find, if it is further mentioned to find mean, median, whatever it is given and you want to convert it, it is very easy to convert also. It is told to make inclusive, okay fine, you make inclusive frequency distribution, and fine, after that we can convert it also into exclusive frequency distribution. Let's first write the inclusive class. As written further, the inclusive class can be suppose 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. Now we are learning, what is this? This is all the lower limits and this is all the upper limits. Okay, now we are learning about conversion. We are learning to convert inclusive frequency distribution into exclusive frequency distribution. Now whenever we have to convert this, we have to first find the lower boundary point and we have to find the upper boundary point. To find the lower boundary point, the formula will start from lower limit. Lower limit, if suppose whenever you are converting, this is inclusive, right? And we are converting into exclusive. First leave the first class, we'll start with the second class. Okay, the second class lower limit. Which is the lower limit in the second class? Can you tell me? 10 to 19. Which is the lower limit? 10. 10 is the lower limit, right? The formula for lower boundary point is lower, we are starting from this, right? Lower limit of the same class plus upper limit of the preceding class. Preceding class means previous class. Upper limit of the previous class will be 9 and that will be divided by 2. This is the formula for lower boundary point. Lower limit of same class plus upper limit of the preceding class or previous class, you can say, and that will be divided by 2. This will be lower boundary point. Now going towards upper boundary point, you have to find upper boundary point also. This is lower boundary point and this is upper boundary point. Okay, just 10 plus 9 by 2, it will come 9.5. Okay, next finding upper boundary point. Upper boundary point, the formula whenever it starts from upper boundary point, we will start from upper limit. Okay, what is the upper limit? Upper limit is 19 plus. Now finding upper boundary point will be upper limit of the same class plus lower limit of the succeeding class. Lower limit of the succeeding class. Succeeding class means the class below it. The class below it, what is the lower limit of it? 20 will be divided by 2, that comes to 19.5. So it is very easy to remember the formula. Whenever it is upper boundary point, we have to start from upper limit. The upper limit of same class plus lower limit of succeeding class. What is succeeding class? The class below it. Okay, lower limit of the succeeding class and that will be divided by 2. So this is the formula for finding lower boundary point and upper boundary point when we want to convert what inclusive frequency distribution to exclusive frequency distribution. Similarly, moving forward, let's see 2-3 examples so that we can see what is the trend. Okay, next lower boundary point. Now here we are finding the lower boundary point. Lower boundary point of the same class plus upper boundary point of the preceding class divided by 2, that comes to 19.5. Upper boundary point, upper limit of the same class plus lower limit of the succeeding class divided by 2, that comes to 29.5. Moving forward, lower limit of the same class plus upper limit of the previous class divided by 2, that comes to 29.5. Here upper limit of the same class plus lower limit of the succeeding class divided by 2, that comes to 39.5. Can you see the series where it is going? 9.5, 19.5, 29.5. So can I write these classes over here? If it is a class, these classes are starting. Let's leave the first one. 9.5 to 19.5, 19.5 to 29.5, 29.5 to... If you are able to understand, can you say me the first class? Here the 9.5, here also it will be 9.5 only. And here it will be 0. So it will multiply, yes, minus 0.5. Okay. So can you see 9.5, 9.5, 19.5, 19.5, 29.5, 29.5. Now I converted inclusive into exclusive. Now see, the first it was 10, it came 9.5. Money 0.5 less ho gaya. Then we have 19. 19.5, 0.5 add ho gaya. So this side it is 0.5 less and this side it is 0.5 more. So this rule can be fixed in your mind that whenever we are converting inclusive data into exclusive data, we have to minus 0.5 and we have to add 0.5. Is it clear to everyone? What we are learning? We are learning conversion. We are learning conversion of what? Inclusive into exclusive. Is it clear to everyone? Yes. Now till now whatever classes we have learned, what they were with equal class length. Sometimes it may be that the class length is not same. There are classes with 10 to 20, 20 to 30 suppose, 30 to 50 suppose, 50 to 100 and 100 to 200. Now can you see the previous example that we saw? It was 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. All the gap were of same. What is class length? Class length is the difference between the upper limit and the lower limit. Okay, so if I tell you to find the class length over here, how will you find class length? How will you find class length? 20 minus 10, that is 10. 30 minus 20, that is 10. 50 minus 30, that is 20. Then 100 minus 50, that will be 50. And 200 minus 100, that is 100. Can you see the class length over here is unequal? This is called continuous frequency distribution with unequal class length. We already learned equal class length. This is unequal class length. Is it clear? So this is the formula if you have to find the class length. If we have to find the mid value, the formula for mid value will be lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. 10 plus 20 divided by 2. This will be mid value. 20 plus 30 divided by 2. 30 plus 50 divided by 2. So what is mid value? Mid value is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Okay, what we have learned? We have learned about interpreting the data. Whatever we have to given the data, if the quantitative data we have to make a continuous frequency distribution, you have a discrete frequency distribution. Whenever the data is small, you can use discrete frequency distribution. If the data is too large, it is not possible to write discrete, so we will make classes and we will find the what we will find? We will find if it is inclusive, it is given, we will find inclusive. If exclusive is given, we will find exclusive. Now to make these classes, the first thing we have to learn is we have to learn range. Okay, so data is given to you, 50 observations are given to you. What you will do is when observations are given to you, you can easily find out the lowest value and the highest value. And range is maximum value minus minimum value. Okay, in the previous example I already gave you the classes, but you will have to yourself find the classes, right? It will not be given to you directly. You have to find the classes, and when you have to find the classes, the data will be given to you, and from that data you have to first search what? We have to search the lowest value and we have to search the highest value. And what will be our range? Range will be the maximum value that we have found out minus the minimum value. Range will be found out. Okay, fine. After finding out range, we need K. K is what? K is number of classes. Number of classes means कितने classes बनाना है? 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 5 बनाना है, 6 बनाना है, कितने बनाना है? So K is what? K is number of classes. How many classes you have to make is K. Okay, then we have to know C, and C is my क्लास लेंथ, मानी इनके बीच में गैप कितना होना चाहिए, 10 से 20 के बीच में गैप कितना है, 10 का है, राइट? सो व्हाट शुड बी द गैप बिटवीन द लोअर लिमिट एंड द अपर लिमिट? दैट इज व्हाट इज क्लास लेंथ. Now, what is the formula for finding the class length? To find this class length, we have to divide R by K. We have to find out R divided by K. Range, you can easily find out maximum value minus minimum value. From range, what you can do is, you can divide K. K is what? Number of classes. How do we get number of classes? It might be given in the question. Number of classes, make so and so classes, make 5 classes, make 6 classes, whatever it might be given. From this three data, any 2 things might be given to you or hint might be given to you. So one thing you can find out, right? Why? Because the formula for C is what? R by K. What is R? R is range, K is number of classes. Now you will get suppose 4.25. So can classes be in points? No. So we have to round it off and we have to find the number of classes and then we can divide by whatever. Then whenever we make the classes, what you have to remember is the lowest value should be included in the first class and the highest value should be included in the last class, and that number of classes you can make and that will be your classes. Whatever it is, if it is inclusive, then inclusive, exclusive, then exclusive. Okay, but 3 things we need to make these classes. What are the 3 things? We need range, we need K, that is number of classes, and we need C, that is class length. Okay, whenever we find this class length, the class length, when it is multiplied with the number of classes, it should be greater than or equals to range. So this rule we can remember, that whenever we make these classes, we have to see that this class length will be multiplied with number of classes should be greater than or equals to range. Okay, so now in this, what we learned how to make the classes. Data is given to you. What you will do after the data which is given, you will find the maximum and the minimum value. You will first find the range, then you will see how many number of classes you have to make. Then depending on that, you will find the class length, and once class length is found, you can easily make the classes. And after classes, what do? If it is inclusive, if you want to convert it, we can convert. If it is given to find the mid value, you can find the mid value also. So this is what you can do after once the class lengths are found out, right? So till now what we have learned, how to make the classes. If we have to do the conversion, we can do the conversion also. Then what we learned about mid values, then we learned about how to find the class length. What is the class length formula? The upper limit will be minus by the lower limit, then we can find the class length. One more topic I would like to tell you is cumulative frequency. Now what is this cumulative frequency? Okay, you have already made the class. Suppose the classes are 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Now first of all, tell me which types of classes is this, inclusive or exclusive? Fatafat, which classes? Exclusive. Clear? Okay. Beside this, I have frequency. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6, suppose. What is the total? 6 and 10, 15 and 20. Right? This is the frequency. Now, what is cumulative frequency? Cumulate करना, इकट्ठा करना. Understand? Cumulate करना, एक साथ करना. We can find cumulative frequency for less than also, and we can find for more than also. Okay? So, can you see the frequency? We have to find the cumulative frequency, and cumulative frequency we denote it by CF. What is CF? CF is cumulative frequency. Now, if you are told to find the less than cumulative frequency, we will find both of them. We'll find less than also and we'll find more than also. So, less than cumulative frequency. How to find the less than cumulative frequency? Now, see. What did I say? Cumulate karna mani ekghatta karna, right? Now can you see 10 to 20, the frequency from 10 to 20 is how much? 2. Till here it is 2. But can you tell me the frequency from 10 to 30? It is 3? No. From 10 to 30. First 10 to 20 it is 2. So 10 to 30 will be 2 also plus 3 also. So it will be 5. Now I want frequency from 10 to 40. It will be 9. Very good. From 10 to 50 it will be 14, and finally will be 20. So can you say here also 20, here also 20? What we did, we just keep on adding, right? Okay. Now this is less than cumulative frequency. Similarly, we can find more than also. In more than frequency, we will start from the highest frequency. The total of the frequency is 20. We will start from 20 only. Okay, 20 minus 2 will be 18. 18 minus 3 will be 15 minus 4 will be, and 11 minus 5 will be, can you see? 6. Yes. So this is cumulative frequency distribution. Cumulative frequency distribution can be of less than also. It can be of more than also. Less than, we have to keep on adding. In more than, we have to start from the highest, that is total frequency, and keep on lessening them. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.